Welcome back to the Black Market Watch, hosted by yours truly, Don Heavy. It feels good to be back with my people. As always, the topic of discussion is investing the right way. As we dive deep into the market, we need to be aware of how the money we invested is spent and how well it is performing. The debt to equity ratio is an easy concept to grasp if you have control over your personal finances. Let us just pretend that you don't have complete control over your finances and you're actually here at the Black Market Watch to learn how to maneuver your money and not just stare at my face and listen to my cunning raps. The debt to equity ratio is the amount of borrowed money a company has in relation to the shareholder equity, which is the money it uses to purchase assets. In other words, an extremely high debt to equity ratio is similar to you. Yes, you buying everything you've ever owned on a loan or credit card. One word: yikes. Debt on top of debt. I know it's crazy, right? But people, as well as companies, do it all the time. But I mind my business. On the other hand, a low debt to equity ratio means that a company is not as aggressive or has been extremely safe or passive in the way it's spending its money. Now, this can be dictated by the industry, but we'll get to that. Let's just get the basics down pat for now. Moving forward. Return on equity is another one we use in everyday transactions. All it means is how much bang are you actually getting for your buck. How much profit is the company making on the invested dollars by us, the shareholders? Let us break this down with some simple mathematics. If you spend $1 and make $2, that's great. Now, if you spend $1 and only make 50 cents, that's not so good. Essentially, that is what you're looking for. In some cases, it is a little difficult for a company to return on equity when they have a ton of debt to pay back, because we all know that the banks want that dough no matter what, right? Right. Now, the next point we're going to touch on is return on assets. Now, return on assets is a little tricky because it takes things a step further, because debt and equity both make up a company's assets. It's time to get down to the nitty-gritty. We have to look at the efficiency of the management team for this one. How is the management spending the company money? Is a lot of money generating little to no income, or is a little money generating a lot of income? Questions. Always ask questions. No. Seriously. Ask questions. All in all, these all point to the amount of earnings per share a company has. We'll just call that EPS for now. The EPS justifies or disproves the share price of a company. We the people need to look at years. Yes, years of EPS of a company to know exactly what we're getting. We do this for two reasons. One, to see the EPS in relation to the current share price. And two, to see if we actually have some good business here or if this EPS is a fluke, which it sometimes is. For example, let's say we have two coffee shops, all things equal. One coffee shop sells its coffee in ceramic cups, while the other one sells it in the cheap paper cups. The company that sells its coffee in the paper cups, because of their less expenses, most likely has a higher earnings per share if distributed the right way. And that is what we want. The more money, the better. Of course, right? And I stand on that. Alright? Now, I know that's a lot to digest today, so let's review. Make sure you take notes this time, kid. Debt to equity ratio is the amount of dough a company owes in comparison with the shareholder equity. Remember, that's the money. Next is return on equity, which is how much money we're getting back for the amount of money that us, the shareholders, invested. Return on assets takes things a step further because it shows us exactly how efficiently a company is utilizing the money that we're giving them to turn a profit. Last but certainly not least is the EPS. And that is self-explanatory. How much earnings per share are we receiving for the shares that we, the shareholders, own? You see how it comes around full circle? And that's all for today. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Black Market Watch. And don't piss me off, doing things wrong. I'm your host, Don Heavy, at the Black Market Watch. Make sure to catch us on Twitter at DonHeavy_invest. And be sure to subscribe and catch our other segment, which is Money Talks Across the Wire, where we break down some financial situations about notable people from across the world that we can all learn from. Till next time, I'm out. Peace and love.